thoughts on authenticity, because the first time I think it kind of, I don't know, the question caught me off guard, and I was like, I don't know, how do I want to answer this? And then I went to go get coffee for Pride, and as I was driving, I was thinking about how, I don't know, like we, in this like context, authenticity is like silly and goofy and like real and kind of heartwarming and all that stuff. But I think authenticity is sometimes really hard, and and sometimes it's not pretty or not like friendly or shiny or like appropriate for, you know, like the what you want to be like on the outside, that groomed version of yourself. And you know, Pride and I talk a lot about raising our daughter and how we want to, you know, hope that her life is different and better than ours, and you know, in some ways, and how her life will be more challenging in other ways because the world is different. And one of the things that we talk about really wanting to raise her to be is like bold and authentic, and to speak her truth even when it's not what everybody wants to hear. And I think that is something that I personally have a lot of difficulty doing sometimes. So I try very hard to keep everybody else around me really like happy and comfortable, even when maybe the right thing to do is to say something uncomfortable. And so you know, I think our kids challenge us, right, in ways that we can predict and in ways we cannot predict. And I think the way that I think she will challenge me in a way that I can predict is that I think she will be more real than I am about some things, and that might make me uncomfortable because, you know, I like to keep everything like smooth and even and, you know, polished, and I appreciate when people just like let their freak flag fly and let their illness hang out. So yeah,
I get it. It's not always easy.
Yeah.
But I know when I see people do it that I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you're the kind of person that like walks on eggshells around some people, and like you try not to like offend people, or you try not to hurt people's feelings or bring up things that you perceive might be triggering to them, like that's good in a lot of contexts to be mindful and empathic around that stuff. But in other times, like, it's okay to not make everybody happy all the time.
And I also think, like, you know, this is something that took me a while to get to in my life, and I still have to practice it, but I also think it's okay for people, like, I'm more comfortable with being uncomfortable, or with people being uncomfortable, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, someone else's reaction or experience or feelings of uncomfortableness don't have to become mine in a way that they used to, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm really bad at that because I take on everything.
And I also, like, it took me a while to get to the understanding of, like, they get to have those feelings. Like, it's not up to me to take those away.
And making space for that, and making space for those, like, their feelings doesn't mean that you have to make it your own burden.
Right. And that in some way, like, suppressing them or, like, trying to, like, make it okay for them doesn't allow them to have an experience that maybe they're meant to have, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think.
Yeah. So authenticity is goofy and silly and fun, and also
challenging, really challenging. And I think you have to practice. I think it's a practice, like a constant practice.
Something to be mindful about.
Yep. Conversations that happen at a kitchen table. Yep. Over banana bread. Really good banana.
Really
we did really good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I love this woman a lot.
Mwah. Love you too.
There we go. Awesome. That is the kind of stuff I also really want. Fadoodle, 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 doodle, doodle.